This is how you drum, right? You just gotta cross the hands. What's up, everybody? I don't know what accent that is. That was barely South. That was barely anything. How are we all doing? So today's video is about Speed. Remember Speed? 1994, Keanu Reeves, Sandra Bullock. Ugh. The other night, my wife and I, we were looking for something to watch, as we all do. Can't wait for this pandemic to be over. So we were looking for something to watch the other night, and I was kind of in the mood for something silly, dumb, but still kind of actiony. Jordan just looked up, best action movies of all time, and suddenly she blurts out, "I've never seen Speed." I was like, how could you not ever have seen Speed? Anyway, I was like, well, we were clearly watching that right away. But then I realized that I hadn't seen Speed since it was new. So I hadn't seen Speed in about 25 years. But I love me some Keanu. Definite man crush on Keanu. The guy's a legend. So we popped it on expecting something to be just barely watchable, essentially. Just super corny, nonsensical. Turns out, Speed is fucking awesome. Holds up in such a big way. I had such a blast watching this movie. I mean, I knew what happened more or less. I could still remember it, but man, does it ever hold up 26 years later? It is the definition of a non-stop action movie. Straight from the get-go. And I also feel like it paved the way for a lot of 90s movies, a lot of 90s action movies that were about to come out over the next 6 years. You can see the influence of Speed on, well, pretty much all the Jerry Bruckheimer, Michael Bay movies that came out thereafter. The music even sounds like it's straight out of one of Bay's movies. I'm still convinced that the exact song is used in another movie, but I can't find it. It turns out the guy who did the music for Speed actually worked on all the Bad Boys, he did Con Air, he did a lot of the Jerry Bruckheimer, Michael Bay type movies. So if it sounds familiar, that's probably why, but I'm still convinced that exact song, dun 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 dun, you know the one, is used in at least one other movie from the 90s. Can't find it, still convinced. And let's just talk about this hero introduction. How about this car jump? I mean, we know that he's in a rush, but Jesus. And then we got the sweet parallax happening around him, right? Does that look familiar? It should. Who directed this movie? Jan de Bont. You know Jan, household name. It was his first feature. Home run, Jan. Home run. He has only directed 5 movies since Speed. He directed Speed 2, so yeah. But right before that, he also directed Twister, which was huge that year. I haven't watched that in a while. That could be a video. Very curious to see how that one holds up. And then he directed The Haunting with Liam Neeson. Catherine Zeta-Jones, I think, is in that as well. Nah. And then he did Lara Croft, the sequel, the Cradle of Life. Those are the 5 movies that he did. 2 of them supposedly classics. Speed is definitely a classic. A lot of familiar faces in this movie too. I mean, aside from Keanu, who's 5 years away from doing The Matrix. Dennis Hopper as the villain. Come on. The guy's loving it. He's having such a blast. A little hammy at times.
Give it up! You're out of options!
But clearly he's having fun, and he's a lot of fun to watch. And Sandra Bullock, she's great. She's so good in this movie. She's cute, she's funny.
This guy's out of his mind.
Commands the screen. And Keanu is, I can't even say he's like peak hunk Keanu, because the boy's still got legs now. But he's such a babe in this movie. And, his acting is... It's Keanu. I love him. I love him. But he's not known for his acting. He's known for his skills. Acting isn't necessarily one of them. And apparently such a nice guy. As I said, a lot of familiar faces aside from the stars in this. Alan Ruck, is in it, playing a pretty typical Alan Ruck character.
LA is one large place. Of course, you live here, you probably don't notice. I'm such a yokel.
Jeez.
There, I said it.
Oh, for you It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia fans, how about Mac's mom as a bartender?
There we go. Oh, beautiful.
And the crack lady from first season. Remember her? Yeah, she's in it too. And even more coincidentally, Joe Morton, you know this guy,
Time. He's not talking. I need the goddamn money now.
Terminator. Bunch of other shit too, but Terminator. His name is Mac. Go figure. Some surprisingly violent moments in this movie too. I forgot that this movie was rated R. It's been a while since I've heard Keanu swear. Even in all the John Wick movies, I don't remember Keanu swearing at all. He gets mad. He gets real mad. But I don't remember him swearing. He swears a bunch in this. It's very rated R. This for the first kill, within just right after the credits, Hopper just stabs a guy in the ear. Gross. I miss the days of rated R action movies that were good. You know, wide release rated R. I'm not talking this straight to DVD Steven Seagal shit. I'm talking about movies that were released widely, hard R, and they crush the box office. They would do so well. The budget for Speed was $30 million. I'm assuming that's not adjusted for inflation, but they ended up making $300 million. Now everything's got to be PG-13, or otherwise it's not going to be financially viable for any producer or any studio to fund a rated R movie. However, of course, now we've got rated R comic book movies coming out like Deadpool and the Joker, and that's great. That's great to see. I would just like to see some more original R-rated action movie thriller types getting a nice wide release. Pop a couple of A-list stars in there, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. So anyway, performances are all top notch. It is quite literally non-stop action. Music's great, even though it sounds like it's from a bunch of other movies, but it came first. It came first. I think it set the tone for 90s action for the next 6 years. Anything from Bad Boys to The Rock to Con Air, none of these movies would exist without Speed. And I would also say that the first Mission Impossible with Tom Cruise also owes a couple of things to Speed. On top of the train, being lowered down through the elevator. There's some similarities going on there for sure. Now, there are a couple of moments that are a little too campy, a little bit too unbelievable. It was the 90s? I don't know. I guess you can get away with that shit. What really irks me though is the iconic scene where the bus jumps a gap in the road. That's not how physics work. I don't know much about physics, but that's not how a bus jumps a hole. Am I right? So there's a couple of moments like that that might take you out of it. But if you can suspend your disbelief for a bit, you will have a goddamn blast. It's funny, action's great. Yeah, I think I'm just being redundant now. Speed 2, I will not be watching again. I remember watching that, and even at the tender age of whatever I was, I knew it was awful. And it doesn't have Keanu in it, so fuck it. Also, did you know that there was a soundtrack release to Speed? 2 of them, in fact. One is just the original score, which probably worth it for the workouts, I don't know. But there was actually a full CD released of music from and inspired by the movie. The lead single is a song called Speed by Billy Idol. Yeah, that's a thing that I didn't know existed. So, to leave you today, I'm gonna leave you with Billy Idol's Speed. Enjoy, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.
was no place for sleeping in a world beyond control. Caught in the headlights, coming after you. When I woke up this morning, I had to do what I gotta do. Blast me to heaven for loving you. Blast me to heaven for loving you.